Chapter 1. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Psalm 127:3. I was 5 years old when I was uprooted for the first time. I was just beginning school, but having skipped kindergarten, I was already in first grade. My parents had taught me how to read and write at home, and they knew I was capable, even though I was one of the youngest in the class. My mother had recently given birth to my baby sister, Taylor, so I was also getting used to sharing my parents with her when my father suddenly announced that we were moving from our home near Tampa, Florida, to Kansas. He had been accepted into the master's program in philosophy at the University of Kansas in Lawrence. Not only that, he was going to be paid to teach a course in Western civilization while he pursued his degree. I could tell Mom didn't want to go to Kansas at all, but Dad was insistent that this was best for us. She told me she hated the idea of leaving her family, who lived near us, but she tended to be more passive and was willing to do things just to please my father. Dad was very dominant, and he didn't like her family very much, which may have played a role in his decision to move us out of state and out from under their influence. Even at the time, I had the vague impression that my father wanted to control my mother by isolating her from the people who supported her. I was in the middle of the school year when we packed up and moved to Olathe, a small city about 30 miles east of Lawrence, where Mom found a dental hygienist job and Dad went to class, studied at home, and worked as a teaching assistant at the university. Taylor went to a university-sponsored daycare, where I joined her when I was done with my school day. Sometimes one of Dad's students would pitch in and babysit. Our first week there, Dad took me on a bike ride around the campus and showed me the different buildings that meant something to him. The humanities building where he taught, the film school, the law school, and the building that housed his office. I thought it was so cool seeing all the students walking and biking around the campus. I quickly became an avid KU fan, and Dad encouraged my interest by taking me to all of the home basketball games. When we were at the sports hall, we'd see the players, who were like celebrities to me, working out or doing physical therapy. Even Dad got kind of giddy when we saw them. He embraced our new life, and I think he wanted me to be as excited about Kansas as he was. He loved it when we expanded our horizons and our minds, especially on his terms. From my earliest memories, everything I did, from dance recitals to fishing trips, was with my parents. The two, Steve and Lucy Drain, had been together for what seemed like forever. They met in junior high school in Florida when they were both 13 and dated through all of high school. My mother, a beautiful and slender blue-eyed blonde, loved my father, and as a good Catholic, she married him so she wouldn't have to feel guilty about having sex out of wedlock. They tied the knot on May 5th, 1983, as soon as they both turned 18. My father rarely spoke about his early childhood with me, and when he did, he sounded quite bitter about his parents. Based on this and his strained relationships with his family, I guessed that it must have been a very unhappy childhood. He had been born in Tampa, Florida, in 1965, and named after his father, Stephen Sr. His mother, Joy, was an aspiring actress who had appeared in several small roles in feature films and television commercials. She was dramatic, flamboyant, and a bit of a narcissist. From what I understood, she paid very little attention to my dad because she was obsessively focused on her acting career. She had already married several times and had given birth to 2 daughters before she married my grandfather, and she remained married to him for only a short time. I had no idea how old my father was when his parents divorced or what their reasons were, but he told me he had been very angry when his parents split, and he blamed it on his mother. He said he would never forgive her. Whether or not this was true, it was clear to me that he deeply resented her. Both of Dad's parents eventually remarried. My father lived with his mother, his 2 half-sisters, and his stepfather, whom he called Popper. His 2 half-sisters had different fathers, so nobody in his household had the same set of parents. It seemed like my father had had a love-hate relationship with his sisters. He was the youngest and the only boy, which made him a natural target for their sisterly teasing. The 2 girls played mean-spirited pranks on him all the time, which of course made him angry. He told me he was also bullied at school. He had been considered a runt until he was in 6th grade, when he shot up to 6'2". After his growth spurt, the bullying stopped. Dad's biological father remarried a woman my father didn't particularly